Officer Parker's Patrol. Once upon a time, in the cheerful town of Safeville, there lived a friendly and brave police officer named Officer Parker. Officer Parker had bright blue eyes, a warm smile, and always wore a shiny badge on his uniform. He loved his job because he enjoyed helping people and keeping the town safe. Every morning, Officer Parker would wake up early, put on his uniform, and head to the police station. The police station was a big building with a tall flagpole out front and a row of police cars parked neatly in a line. Officer Parker's car was number 5, and he took great care of it, making sure it was always clean and ready for action. One sunny morning, Officer Parker arrived at the station and was greeted by his fellow officers. "Good morning, everyone," he said cheerfully. "Good morning, Officer Parker," they replied. Today, Officer Parker was assigned to patrol the town, making sure everything was safe and sound. Before starting his patrol, Officer Parker checked his radio and made sure he had his notepad and a pack of stickers that he liked to give to children. He hopped into his police car and set off, waving goodbye to his friends at the station. As Officer Parker drove through the streets of Safeville, he saw children playing, shopkeepers opening their stores, and neighbors greeting each other. He smiled, happy to see everyone enjoying their day. While driving through the park, Officer Parker noticed a little boy named Tommy sitting on a bench, looking sad. Officer Parker pulled over and got out of his car. "Hello, Tommy. Is everything okay?" he asked gently. Tommy looked up with teary eyes. "I lost my puppy, Max. He ran off while we were playing, and I can't find him." Officer Parker knelt down to Tommy's level and said, "Don't worry, Tommy. We'll find Max together. Let's start by looking around the park." Tommy nodded, feeling a bit better with Officer Parker's help. They searched the park, calling out Max's name. After a few minutes, they heard a faint barking sound coming from behind a bush. Officer Parker and Tommy rushed over and found Max, happily wagging his tail. "Max!" Tommy exclaimed, hugging his puppy tightly. "Thank you, Officer Parker." "You're welcome, Tommy. I'm glad we found Max. Remember to always keep an eye on him when you're playing," Officer Parker advised. Tommy nodded and smiled. "I will, Officer Parker. Thank you for helping me." After leaving the park, Officer Parker continued his patrol. As he drove past the school, he noticed some children gathered around, talking excitedly. He decided to stop and see what was going on. "Good morning, children. What's happening here?" Officer Parker asked. One of the children, a girl named Lucy, stepped forward. "We're learning about safety at school, and we have some questions about what police officers do." Officer Parker smiled. "I'd be happy to answer your questions. What would you like to know?" The children asked Officer Parker about his job, how he helps people, and what they should do in case of an emergency. Officer Parker patiently answered all their questions and even let them take a closer look at his police car. "Always remember, if you ever need help, you can find a police officer or call 911, Officer Parker said. He handed out stickers to the children, who thanked him with big smiles. As Officer Parker continued his patrol, he received a call on his radio. "Officer Parker, we need your help at the grocery store. A little girl is lost and can't find her parents." Officer Parker quickly drove to the grocery store. Inside, he found a little girl named Emma standing with the store manager, looking worried. "Hello, Emma. My name is Officer Parker. Don't worry, we're going to find your parents," he said reassuringly. Emma held Officer Parker's hand as they walked through the aisles, calling out for her parents. Soon, they heard a relieved voice. "Emma, there you are." Emma's parents rushed over and hugged her tightly. "Thank you so much, Officer Parker," her mother said. "We were so worried." Officer Parker smiled. "I'm glad we could reunite you. Always keep an eye on each other, especially in busy places." After helping Emma and her family, Officer Parker felt a warm sense of accomplishment. It was moments like these that made him love his job even more. As the sun began to set, Officer Parker returned to the police station. He parked his car and walked inside, feeling proud of the work he had done that day. Captain Lewis, the head of the police station, greeted him. "Great job today, Officer Parker. You helped a lot of people and kept our town safe." Officer Parker smiled and nodded. "Thank you, Captain. It was a good day. Helping others is the best part of my job."